Hey, this is Ciara Hanna, the Yellow Ranger, and you're watching Airlim.
Hey Rangers, today we're going to be looking at the first volume of Power Rangers Dino Charge that's coming out in the UK from Manga, and I have to say, I'm really impressed and I really like it. When Dino Charge first aired, I reviewed the first 11 episodes, so throughout the video you'll see the little tab. When I talk about the episodes, that's when you can click if you want to go and watch that review for that episode. Starting from the front, the DVD menu is really cool. I really like the picture, and I like the lightning effect that you hear in the music when the lightning or energy is kind of going off. Now one thing is, the music that loops is awesome. I really wish it kept looping, because it does. It starts looping and you think, oh, it's going to continue. And then it just fades out, and I'm like, no! Have that go through the entire time. So when the track begins, it fades out and then fades in when it resets itself, because that would just be absolutely really cool. And it would make more of the video to me. Now the other menus from like the episodes onwards, they don't, and the scene select, they don't have music, which I was a bit like about, because it could have been other like parts of the music that played while it happened, but no. So you only have like a few things that are set up. The 4 episodes are Powers from the Past, Past, Present and Fusion, Fool's Hour and Return of the Caveman. And one thing I will mention, and I will keep mentioning probably throughout this review, is the quality of the actual videos. The episodes are pretty much what I would consider Blu Ray, and it's just so, like, you could see everything from where the paint on the weapons are, or where you've got the suit, where you can see where the fabric is, how it's made, you can see the prop, and if you pause it like randomly in the intro, you can see a lot of like detail from this, and this really makes it for me. When I watch this, sometimes with DVD quality it kind of like drops down. Carrying on with the picture quality, there are times when I paused it when doing this review, and then I was looking at like the monster suits, and you can see where it's been smoothed over, you can see like where it would line. It's like on Fury's like face, when you look at it, where his horns are, you can see that it's just completely smooth, but you can actually really get a good close-up. I think there's like also with, when I said like you can see painting on the weapons, there's a point when I think Riley or Coda is using the sword, and it actually does like a really like in-depth like close-up, and it looked absolutely perfect. With the suits, you can see where all the material is threaded, and oh, it's just amazing. This is one thing that really kind of stood out to me, and I really enjoyed. One other thing I will add is that you can also see like Tyler's book. So when I was watching the broadcasted version, you could only see certain parts, or the writing seemed a little bit blurred. With this one, you could actually make out. If you paused it, you could really read everything about it. So I'm guessing he turns the pages occasionally, because I think I've only seen like 2 pages, or like 2 double pages, whatever. But you could actually pause and read everything about it. But I know I couldn't do that when it was the broadcasted version. Powers from the Past is all about the introduction from Keeper, Sledge, Poisandra, and everyone else, that you actually get this. And I really liked it started with the bad guys rather than just like the good guys straight away. We know that Sledge is chasing Keeper, and going back to the quality, you can actually really see the detail of the 3D modeling. Oh god, it's just so cool. The detail on the ships is fine. I absolutely love it. Sledge takes down Keeper, shoots him down, and he lands on Earth, and pretty much is Keeper starts looking at the energems, like gotta find them, and then pretends to be dead because Fury's dropped down to Earth because he's after the energems too, to give them to Sledge. Then we know that Keeper puts a bomb inside the kind of container. Fury takes it all the way back to Sledge. Sledge opens it, sees the bomb, boom! And that's how the Dino Thunder Rangers get their powers. Yeah! We're introduced to Tyler, Shelby, Chase, Coda, and Kendall as, you know, in the kind of the first scene where Tyler's going around the kind of museum. He talks to Chase. Tyler goes off to the dig site where they found the dinosaur bones, and that's pretty much it. That's the introduction to those characters. Shelby really wants to go on a dig with the others as soon as she finds out they're doing it, and then she kind of stows away. She kind of, it feels like she's flirting with Chase a little bit. She's like, oh, instead of a movie, why don't you take me on a dig? And I actually thought she said date originally. It took me a while to listen to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, she actually meant dig rather than date. Tyler goes to the dig. He jumps down because of the lava that's there. It's really weird. Again, as I mentioned, they don't corner this off. They just leave it open for anyone to go there. He gets ambushed. He gets his energem, and then it kind of moves on to the next scene. Shelby then pops up from the truck, and she's like, they're gonna have to let me be on the dig now since I'm here. And then she sees a hooded figure who grabs a box which is glowing pink inside, and he just runs off. It's like, and just runs away. Shelby grabs the box, the monster complains. Then Tyler comes swooping in, grabs the box, Shelby has it again, and then they get their Energems, they morph into the first time, and they're really excited. Then all of a sudden, Rexy comes out of nowhere, defeats the monster, and then Tyler and Shelby notice that Chase and all that have left, and suddenly they just get in the car and then drive back to town. And that's episode 1. Past, Present, and Fusion is all about Riley's introduction to the show. He is practicing sword fighting. He then goes after his dog because his dog's run away, and again, I probably mentioned in the main review, his dog's barking really kind of far away, so you kind of think it wouldn't be that loud. Riley is introduced to Fury, they fight, Riley gets his Energem, and then all of a sudden Riley is going to the museum because dinosaurs and whatnot. Basically, Riley's family say goodbye, and then Riley is off. We then come back to what Tyler and Shelby were previously. They were in the car talking about Fury, they're going through a few things. Then they meet Riley. Riley is on the side of the road, his bike's broken down, and he's going through the book saying that he's going to follow the manual, and all of a sudden the manual gets blown away. They put the bike onto the car, they get in the car, and they drive down the road. Tyler, Shelby, and Riley have found people in distress. They see the cars flipped over, and this woman's husband is inside, and they need to get the car up. So what do? They flip it up into the air, and yeah, that's it. I think it explodes. But I mentioned that in the second review. They arrive at the museum and they park around the back. They see the T-Rex head. Then they find out that, oh, it's a base inside. They go into the base. They meet Keeper. Keeper explains everything. Kendall comes out and just talks to them briefly about everything. Mocks Shelby for some strange reason. I know that's addressed much later on. And yeah, then they all go out to fight. Tyler can't do anything for some strange reason. His Energem's kind of flashing and won't go to him, which I kind of think is like, oh, it's all linked to the dinosaurs we're going to see in a minute. Oh! Kendall explains all about the Zords, like each ranger gets their own Zord as soon as they get their Energem. Rexy then goes into the city and he's attacking the bad guys. Tyler then joins, he then morphs into the Red Ranger, so we get some Red Ranger versus the bad guys fight, which is really, really cool. I really like fight scenes in Dino Charge. After Tyler has defeated some bad guys, Shelby takes lead and she can't morph properly. They all morph. Then we have like quite a bit of fighting. We have a kind of a finishing move from the Red Ranger. Everything looks really crisp and clean in the footage, and as soon as the Rangers have won, we then go back up to Sledge's ship, and he's just saying like, yeah, so I'm going to destroy the Rangers, and who wants their freedom? You have to bring me the Energems. And that's the end of episode 2. Episode 3, A Fool's Hour. To hide the fact that the Power Rangers, they all get jobs at the museum, and they're all in the cafe, or the restaurant, whatever you want to call it, but we're going to call it a cafe because that's the British thing to do! Yeah. We all know that Coda's a caveman, so the Rangers have now found it out. They're talking about Fury and the painting on the wall that he's done, which resembles, they want it in the book that Tyler has. Yeah, it's really well detailed, that thing in his book. It's really well detailed, not just like a quick drawing, it's shading and everything. The alarms in the base are all going off because 8 things are approaching Earth. The Rangers go out to meet them. Keeper turns up for a little bit. He gives some sort of speech and then just disappears. The Rangers morph, they fight, and then they get knocked back. Tyler has noticed Fury. He's at the top all along, and he's kind of driven that he wants to go find out all about his dad. So when they kind of get pummeled, Tyler goes, I'm off now, see you later, I've got to go find out what happens. And Chase then replies with, no, we have to stick as a team, you know, we can defeat them all together. Tyler says like, you know, but if we're a team and we split up, we'll be even better. And then just runs off, finds Fury. Tyler follows Fury. Fury is walking off as normal. He's not really kind of paying any attention. And then suddenly Sledge comes out and says, look, you know, we're going to send one of the monsters after the Rangers to see out where their base is, and we'll take all the Energems that are there. Tyler can't communicate because guess what? His Dinocom is broken. Tyler arrives back at the base and sees the monster there watching and knowing that the base is right at the museum. So he then decides to go back to Sledge. Tyler engages him in a fight. The Rangers then suddenly get a new upgrade, which is the Dino Steel, which works really, really well. And all they have to do is just put it into their morphers and they should be fine. The Rangers fight monsters. Monster grows up. They summon the Megazord. They turn around and say the Tri-Stego formation. Megazord is formed. boom, a monster is defeated. Then at the very end of the episode, Tyler and Chase make up, they talk about what happened, and then they become best friends again. And then that's the end of episode 3, A Fool's Hour! Episode 4, Return of the Caveman. There's a lot in this one. Okay, so let's kind of break this one down. We open up with Coda finding his Energem. He's then his little brother, he gets almost attacked by a saber-tooth tiger. Coda then like rugby tackles the saber-tooth off the kind of the cliff, and then they start falling. Coda then bonds with his Energem, which, do you think that he morphed for the first time when hit the ground? Or do you think that he just hit water, got encased in ice? Or what? I don't know. I generally think that he morphed and then hit the ground. But if you know, or tell me your thoughts, let me know down below in the comments. Coda wakes up and hears this massive roaring. He thinks it's a saber-tooth that is from his dreams, is there, but no, it's just the others playing around with the new Dino cycle. Chase then explains, Coda then tries to attack it, he then smashes Shelby's phone. As Coda and Chase are leaving the shot, we're now coming onto Sledge's ship, and Poisandra is kind of like talking about the wedding and wanting it to happen a lot sooner than normal. Sledge says, no, I'm going to do it as soon as we get the Energems, but Poisandra's not taking it. So Sledge then turns around and says, I've actually made you a present. His name is Curio. Into Curio. Boom. I always think it's Cheerio. Not the cereal. At this point, he also sends a monster called Slammer down to Earth to actually capture the Rangers so they can get the Energem. We see that Chase is teaching Coda how to ride a bike. He's on like one with training wheels, and he's encouraging Coda, saying, you're doing really well. Very soon, Coda starts opening up to Chase. He says that there's TV and loads of things that kind of scare him, that he doesn't know what it is. He hasn't really adapted to it over the years because everything is still kind of new to him. About halfway through, suddenly a cage comes out of nowhere, captures Chase straight away. Coda then notices a kid coming towards him, and another cage is falling. Coda then jumps, saves the kid, and the cage lands on the bike as well, teleporting them all off to a magical cave that nothing works in, none of their technology. But I will point this out, in the cage where the bike's fallen, a perfect like semicircle, enough for Coda to get out, not just a crumpled one. So props to the prop making team for making that cage. That kind of made me giggle a little bit. We find out the little boy is called Peter, his leg is broken. Coda makes a splint, he says, I'm gonna get him out of here first, and then he'll come back for Chase. Chase is like, yeah, cool man, that's fine, no problem. Then cuts to Shelby and Kendall, and they're worried about Chase and Coda because they haven't checked in. They talk to the Rangers about it and say, yeah, can you go find them? So Riley and Tyler go all the way off on their bikes to search the city. The Rangers then pick up the signal where there's massive like electronic signals coming from a field that's dampening it. They arrive at the cave, they see Coda and Peter. Coda gives Peter to Kendall, she takes them to the hospital. The Rangers morph, Slammer grows due to the Magna Beam, and then they form the Megazord. The form that they take is the Stegoraptor formation. They beat Slammer, pretty much. Boom, gone. Then at the end, Coda finds Peter at the kind of like, I'm guessing the caravan site or where he's staying, and then in return, Peter teaches Coda how to ride a bike, again, on top of the mountain. What? You don't take him to the park and teach him there, not just on top where he could fall off and hurt himself and then have another nightmare of him falling. That's pretty much it. The episode ends there, and that's the whole DVD. So if you're a fan of Power Rangers and you're a fan of Dino Charge, then I would highly recommend collecting this on DVD because just the quality is pretty much almost Blu Ray. It's a very decent thing to add to the collection, and it's really nice that the UK is now getting Power Ranger DVDs again, so we can follow along and actually have this as an entire library. The sound quality is really good as well, and you know, it felt I could hear everything clearly, bar one, which was the date between Shelby and Chase. But I really just enjoyed the entire DVD. It brought back a lot of memories, and it made me want to watch the entire whole load of Dino Charge once again. So when these come out, I'm going to be collecting them because I do think that they're awesome and it's worth collecting. So Rangers, that's my thoughts on the DVD. I generally just enjoyed it. What are your thoughts? What do you like? Would you be collecting it? Would you not? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the other videos on the channel, including the playlist to Dino Charge. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.